Oh, hi. Oh, yes, I did. I quit. Oh, you too? Maybe? So I quit. I was a mid-tier lawyer in a Big Four law firm in Singapore. For over 6 years, I slogged my guts out. The job paid me a nice six-figure salary. When I talked about my job, it always sounds like, so glamorous. In the eyes of my parents, the people around me, I had made it. I was doing well. Except, not really. No. Really, I was just going through the motions day after day and feeling so tired and so alone. The colleagues working alongside me all seemed happy enough. In fact, most of them were actively buying into the whole thing, even when it seems obvious that it was a pretty toxic work culture, Stuff like bragging about how they worked till 1 a.m. last night. Apparently, right now, across the world, but especially in America, there's something called the Great Resignation going on. People are quitting. There's so many different reasons why they would quit, of course, but, it's never really an easy, straightforward decision, is it? You go back and forth, back and forth. Well, for me, it really was these realizations about money that actually helped to make up my mind. So that is what I want to share with you today. First, that whole job salary configuration, it's a money trap. Kind of like a rat trap. You get stuck and then you can't escape. Ooh, maybe that's why they call it a rat race. So you go to work at your job every day, so you get paid your salary at the end of the month, so you can then pay your bills and finance your life and so on. And the thing is, once you've got a job, you're like, hey, I'm all set. I did what I was supposed to do, right? Money's going to be coming in at the end of every month. All financial problems solved. Time to just chill with the limited time I have off from work. You can't blame any of us for thinking that. The job's usually already pretty consuming as it is. So then, for most salaried employees, the job is the only source of income. That was exactly the case for me too. So it's all fine and dandy if you're happy with the configuration, but what if you wanted to opt out? Well, it's a trap, you can't. You could have been spending your life and time and energy and inspiration and all that good stuff you have to give, building your own businesses, your own income streams and dreams, but you didn't. You had a job. You spent all that good stuff building other people's businesses and companies. And now you need that salary, so you can't opt out of that job. Which brings me to my second realization about money, which is that money, even if a lot of it, isn't actually an adequate compensation for what the job takes away from us, I think. Of course, that's ultimately a value judgment that you, as an individual, have to make about your specific job in your particular circumstances. But let me elaborate just a little bit more, just in case you've been too busy working to look up and realize what is it that's being taken from you. With your nice salary, they essentially buy your time, your emotions, your personal relationships, your freedom, physical health, mental health, even your sense of individuality. Did you realize? There's no strict 9 to 5 really, is there? Especially in the wake of this pandemic work from home situation these days. It's weekends, it's overtime, it's when you're sitting on the toilet. How many times have you cancelled on dinner appointments with your friends and family, your dates, even your gym sessions, or even therapy, because work demanded it? The carousel never stops turning. You can never really totally switch off. There's always emails and Blackberries and calls and urgent deals. There's that unique sense of fatigue, especially reserved for those who run the corporate hamster wheel and dislike it. It's that deep sense of dissatisfaction and lack of fulfillment that stems from doing something that you dislike and find meaningless day after day after day. Plus, when there's about 500 more people at the company doing the same role as you, you're totally replaceable. You're just another cog in the machine. Either you do what they ask you to do, or they'll find another you to do it. So, like I said earlier, it's all an individual value judgment. But basically, to me, you're talking about your health, your youth, your sense of happiness and fulfillment, your relationships with the people in your life. I don't know about you, but most, in fact, all of that appear to me to be stuff that money can't actually replace. And think about it this way. I was 29 years old when I quit. That meant roughly about another 9,768 more working days left for me. And in that time, the money will keep getting bigger, but probably my work life isn't going to change significantly. I'll have to get up in the morning, commute for an hour or so to the office, leave only late at night. And in between, perhaps the only highlight of my day is when I gather around the water cooler in the pantry with my colleagues and catch up on office gossip. Is that really okay? So then my third big realization about money, it's really what kicked me across the line to deciding to quit. And it's simple really. Money controls us until we learn how to control our money. When I was a salaried employee, I never learned to control my money. I had my fat paycheck every month. I spent it carelessly in the little free time I had to do so because, why else do I work so hard? I didn't have a budget, I didn't track my expenses. I didn't know a thing about saving smart and investing because, hell, I was making so much money. And guess what? I did make loads of money in those 6+ years. But when I decided to quit and leave, sadly, I didn't have a significant sum of savings with which to start my new life. I had some money, but considering everything I actually earned, it was just sad. Where did it all go? Oh well, there were some clues hanging in my closet, my handbags, my shoes. A big chunk of the rest I digested, eating, drinking. And looking back, I was like, oh my god, what was I thinking? The real power of money is not that you can buy all sorts of things that you want. Feeling like someone else owns your time, your emotions, your life, it's horrible. The real power of money is that you are able to buy the freedom to live on your own terms, to spend your time how you like, when you like, where you like. Once you realize that, all the other things, they become so easy to give up. I took a good hard look at my life. From the point where I thought there was a chance that I might quit, I needed to make sure that I could quit. So first up is always housekeeping. What are my liabilities? Mortgage, car, monthly expenditure. These are the usual suspects. Take stock and start to understand where all your money goes every month. Next, financial planning. In my case, for example, if I quit and left Singapore to pursue my dreams, I could rent out the apartment. I could get rid of the car. My lifestyle costs would automatically downgrade as a consequence of living in a place with generally cheaper living costs, reducing my expenditure. You get the idea. And what about the future? How was I going to generate money for my life? Well, if I had been a savvy financial planning person, then what I would have done is to build up as much of a buffer of savings as is possible before I actually quit. And to start investing the hell out of those savings as early as possible to grow my wealth, to build passive income streams, to diversify my income as well. As it turned out, I wasn't smart enough back then. I actually did what most people would agree is the dumbest thing possible in the situation. I quit with the savings that I had and then I went off to figure it out. Well, luckily for me, it turned out okay in the end. And so that's a whole other story for another day. But hey, if you're watching this video and thinking about quitting, don't do what I did. Do that whole saving, planning and investing stuff instead. As much as you can, before you quit. And beyond all these big, hard-hitting realizations about money, there's actually something more important that we all have to consider. I believe we all need a why. I believe that in order for us to have a great life, we all need a good purpose to be doing what we do every day. And just to be clear, loads of money usually isn't good enough to fill you with the same sense of satisfaction and fulfillment. For most people, at least. Life doesn't need to be a dreary, painful cycle one endures. Life should be colorful, full of joy and passion. We should all be spending our lives doing what makes us feel alive and motivated and fulfilled and eager for the next day and the next. When I quit, I wasn't just running away from my horrible salaried employee existence. I was actively running towards my dream. My dream was to live an active life under the sun at a beach somewhere. To have time to do the things I love: surfing, painting, reading, having quality relationships with my family and the people around me. I had this really clear vision in my head. That was what I wanted, and I spent all those years after quitting just driving myself to this point. I wanted to work only in that which I felt passionate about, having spent so many years working just pretty much for the paycheck. I didn't exactly know what that was at the point where I actually quit, but over time I learned that I love teaching physical stuff, showing people the joy in yoga, surfing and gym. And the thing is, when you're working from passion and not just for the money, you generally do a much better job. And then the money just follows. Perhaps that's the magic of the universe. So I had my why. It helps a lot, especially if you're undecided about quitting. Now, in case you're one of those people who haven't quite discovered your why in life yet, these days there are so many easy ways to start doing that. And here's where I want to share with you about Skillshare, who is the sponsor of today's video. For those of you who don't know, Skillshare is an online learning community offering thousands of inspiring classes on topics including being an entrepreneur, freelancing, self-care, and classes that grow your specific creative skills such as photography, video, illustration, design. This is a wonderful avenue to quickly and easily explore new creative topics and new skills. All of it just a few clicks away. I just finished watching a class by Emma Gannon about discovering success. 7 exercises to uncover your purpose, passion, and path. It resonated so much for me, especially what Emma teaches about defining success on your own terms, taking realistic steps to transform intention into action. Because Skillshare is sponsoring this video today, if you are one of the first 1,000 viewers to click on the link in the description below, you get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, which means that for 1 month, absolutely free, you get unlimited access to every single class on Skillshare. So if you're interested, immediately you can check out Emma's class that I've just mentioned for free using the link in the description below. And while you're at it, might as well check out all of the other classes on Skillshare as well. So my friends, if you too are thinking about quitting that job, I hope that this video has helped shape your thoughts on the issue more clearly. You might at the end of the day decide to continue in your job, who knows? But the important thing is, whether you quit or not is really your decision, your choice, and not because you're, stuck in the money trap. If you found this video helpful, or if what I said about my decision to quit resonated with you, hit that like, because a simple like really helps me out tremendously to get this message about money and jobs and salaries out there to reach other people like you who might also be thinking about freedom and quitting. I'll love to hear your thoughts about quitting and whether you're going to do it or not. Everyone has their own perspective and reasons why they might want to remain a salaried employee or maybe start afresh to build a new life and new income streams for themselves. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. If you found this video interesting, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you won't miss our future videos. All the best to you, whatever your decisions may be. See you in future videos.